30% increase. I always wanted a thing called tuna sashimi. 3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, Tuna here again. This time I'm going to do a pickup video. This is the stuff I've picked up this month. I gotta be honest, this month I didn't really plan on buying much this month, but it's worked out. I actually bought a fair amount of stuff. I don't know why. A lot of it I had pretty cheap. I'd done a few boot sales and stuff and picked a few things up, and I'd done a few exchanges, and I bought a couple of video game lots off eBay from Hit Japan. So I'll just show you some of the things I had. So went to boot sale on the weekend, ended up picking up a load of PS2 games. I had Mercenaries. Let me just lock my focus. I had Mercenaries, which I remember that when it first came out was a really cool open world type game. I had Onimusha 2, which is like I don't know, it's like a Resident Evil / sort of samurai adventure game, sort of. I had Maximo and the Army of Zin, which is really good. That's one of the Ghouls and Ghosts games in the series. It's hard as shit, but it is a really good game. They did 2 of them. I can't remember. I think this is the second one, but I can't quite remember. Or the first one. I think Army of Zin was the second one. Looking at the back, I think it is. But they're both good. Well worth picking up if you've got a PS1. Bought Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Pretty cool Resident Evil game. Pretty nice. I can't remember if I played that on a different console, but it's pretty cool. It's an old first-person shooter here, Red Faction, which is pretty cool on the PlayStation, and Red Faction 2 has enjoyed both of them, to be honest. So that's that. I had this. I didn't necessarily go to buy Extermination, but the woman was offering 4 games for £1. So I could only pick out 3 that I wanted, but I thought, I could may as well get this. 20 pence. What can you ask for it? Actually, no, it wasn't 4. It was 5 for £1 actually. So they were 20 pence each. Bargain. The other game I picked up as well, it was, cost about 20 pence, was Metal Gear Solid 2. Classic. I remember when this first came out years and years ago, and I remember pre-ordering it, waiting for it to come out, and I took a week off work to play it. It took me like 3 days to finish it. Solid. I was so excited to play it, and it was a really good game, but I was disappointed. It started off fantastic when you were on with Snake on the ship and all that. It was brilliant, but then you went to raiding it on this base. It was a good game, but it was a little bit disappointing, especially after playing the first one and loving it so much. Absolute classic. Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. You've got Monkey Ball 1, Monkey Ball 2, and about an extra 40 odd levels and extra bonus games. Can't fault that at all. I don't know if you ever played Monkey Ball. It's like a hamster in a ball. You just roll around the level. Got some crazy cunning levels, and I'm not very good at it, but if you have a look at some of the mad videos online of people playing it, it just blows my mind. And the Television Lives, which is basically 16 television games on the PS2. I didn't even know this was out for PS2, so I haven't actually put it on yet to have a look at it. I don't know if you can look at the back. Shows some of the games on the Intellivision. The Intellivision was quite impressive for its time, so I'll be giving that a try once I get 5 minutes. So that was the PS2 stuff, and I reckon all that cost me about £4. So can't fault that at all. Let me just put these out of the way. So there's quite a lot of other stuff. Bought some Mega Drive games. I bought Herzog Zooey, which I've been tempting to play this game quite a few times. When it first came out, I remember going to Cardiff and trying it out. I think, Technosoft game, Thunder Force, all that sort of malarkey. And I remember trying it out and thinking, oh god, it's a bit crap. But what it is, a lot of people love this game, and they all seem to reckon that this game is it's basically the grandmother of all real-time strategy games. And I've been watching a few reviews of it lately, and I've been tempted to play it. And I've been looking on eBay for box copies, and it's going for silly money. You're talking like 30 quid. And I remember in the day getting really bad reviews, and it was going really cheap. It's about 30 quid. So I went and hit Japan, and I won an auction with 3 other games for a fiver. So, and £5 postage, so it cost me 10 altogether. So, but so what it is, it's like a top-down real-time strategy game with Technosoft music and ship, and your ship picks your enemies up, drops them off at the bases, and you've got to defeat the enemy base. I don't know a huge amount about it, but once I have a go with it and I get it down, I'll do a video on it. So I think it might be a bit interesting. It's one of those games I didn't like at the time, but I'm tempted to get into it, because people love it. I had Super Monaco Grand Prix. Classic Super Monaco Grand Prix. You get it on all Mega Drive multi-card things, and pretty cool for this time. I had this, which is some adventure game. I think it's called Uncharted Waters in the UK and the US. It's an adventure game. Obviously, it's in Japanese, so I can't play it. But it was part of the pack anyway. And the other game that made me buy this pack was this. The front of it's a little bit sun-drenched. Well, quite a bit sun-drenched. But it's Arcus Odyssey, which is a classic Mega Drive over-the-top sort of gauntlet-style RPG. It's done at sort of weird angles, but it's a really good game. Got some really nice music, done by Wolf Team, and it was done by Talon Japan, which also a lot of people consider Talon Japan to be pretty bad, but back in the day, I think Talon Japan made some really good games. Like they just never come out, like the Valis series. They made loads of really cool games, but they didn't seem to do too well in the West. So that's my Mega Drive pickups I've done. Picked up a few Wii games. I had Samba Amigo. Samba Amigo is absolute classic on the Dreamcast. I think I can remember the Wii version being a little bit awkward to play, but it was a quid, so I thought I'll pick that up. I do like Samba Amigo. It's definitely one of my favourite rhythm games, so we'll give that a try. Yeah, Secret Files of Tanuska. I have no idea what this is. It just tweaked my interest. The name, and then I looked at the back, and it's very sort of Japanese. It's done by it's brought to you by a company called Deep Silver. As I just found out today, I've just bought the rights from Crytek for Homeland 2. So I see. Obviously, Crytek, the people who did Crisis games, they must be in a bit of trouble because they've sold the rights to Homeland. So apparently Deep Silver are going to be doing Homeland. But I don't think you can see on the back. It's sort of like, I don't know, it looks sort of like an action, adventure, sort of horror game. So it tweaked my interest, so I thought I'd give it a buy. That was I think that was £1, if I remember rightly. Another one that tweaked my interest, I know it's got a cowboy with eyeliner, but what can you say, is the Mad Dog McCree Gunslinger pack. I never even knew this came out on the Wii. Apparently it's all the Mad Dog McCree games all on one disc with Wii Remote. So it should be pretty cool, because I had a CDI not long ago with the Mad Dog McCree pack on that, and the gun is awful. It's pointless. It just doesn't work. So it might be interesting. I remember them being quite, for the time when they came out in the arcade, they were amazing. But yeah, pretty cool. I thought I'd give it a try. That was, I think this was like £2 or something I paid for it. But yeah, that might be, it was just an interest buy. That's why I bought it. And the last Wii game I bought was Trauma Center New Blood. I've got the original Trauma Center, and I don't know if you know, it's like you play Doctor, and he does operations, Dr. Styles. And the first game's class. So I think I'll pick up the second game. I never played it, so it should be interesting. I'll give that a try. So that's my Wii pickups. Like I say, I did pick up quite a bit of stuff this month, but I didn't really spend much money on it. I think all that stuff I just showed you then came from the boot sale, and that also included another piece of kit, which I should have prepared really and packed it up, but if I go across to it, I'll go over here and you might be able to see it. Save me sort of unpacking it. If we go over there, see there's my GameCube and my Wii. If you go down, the Game Boy player for the GameCube. If I take that out, so you got my Game Boy games. So I also picked that up at the boot sale as well for the grand price of £3. So that was a steal, to be honest, at £3. So I was well impressed with that. So I go back in. The only problem is it didn't come with the disc, but you can get the disc online anyway, so it's not too bad. Right. So do my focus. So I had that, and pretty much everything I bought at the boot sale cost me about £18. So I had all the PlayStation games, I had all the Wii games. I had one Mega Drive game, Turbo Outrun, but it doesn't work unfortunately, which is quite rare to be honest for Mega Drive games. And the Game Boy player for like £18. Bargain. So the other thing I did as well, I bought a job lot of PC Engine games. Cost me £20 altogether with postage. There's a few games that are not that great, but I bought it for particular 2 games on it. So the first game I had in the pack, if I can get my thing to focus. First game I had in the pack was F1 Pilot. Just pretty much an F1 game, you know, pretty bog standard, nothing particularly special. Yeah, the baseball game. And if I can get this to focus, and I can lock my focus, that's better. Yeah, so I got the baseball game. I can't remember, something baseball 91. Can't remember what it's called. Yeah, but it's not bad. You know, it's baseball. You know, nothing particular fancy, but it's pretty cool. Adds to the collection of PC Engine games. I haven't actually got it, so. I had the Namco tennis game, which is actually a pretty cool tennis game. It's got a bit of a tennis adventure mode, which is pretty mad. But unfortunately, I've got this already, a box, but this is an unboxed one, so it's a spare basically. Yeah, so I had that in there. I actually had the F1 Circus game, the original one. I've got F1 Circus 91 and 92 as well, and I actually really like these games. These are top-down F1 racing games, you know, pretty much very arcade style. They're nails as well, proper hard. They're extremely fast. I used to be into the Mega Drive one and the old PC Engine one years ago, and they take ridiculous amount of skill to play. They're super fast. It's insane how fast they are. But yeah, so I got that, which you know, it's pretty good. I quite like that. These ones, unfortunately, you can't play. It's one of the Peach Boy games. I'm not sure exactly which one this is called, but it's pretty much unplayable. The same with the other Peach Boy game I've got here. Pretty much the same, pretty much unplayable. I'm going to keep an eye out for some more of these lots and get a few games. I almost had Formation Soccer, J-League, which is, I'm not into football games or sports games really, but it's a surprisingly modern looking football game considering how old it is. You know, I remember the magazines at the time raving over this and saying it was much better than anything else at the time, but yeah, it does actually look pretty nice. As Japan, they love their wrestling games. There's lots of wrestling games. You've got a guy kicking somebody in the back of the head, as you do, or kicking Jason Voorhees in the back of the head, which is always a bad idea, because he'll probably just rip your heart out. So anyway, so that one ends. I think it's one of the Fire Pro Wrestling games. I can't remember which one. But the reason I bought the pack is because it came with Heavy Unit, which is a pretty cool arcade shmup, and I love shmups, as you may have noticed. I really wanted that, and it came with that in the pack as well, so well happy with that. And it also came with another game I've been looking to collect, which is Alien Crush. Alien Crush and Devil Crush are pretty much some of the best pinball games ever made. You know, they're pretty much, you know, fantasy pinball games, and especially Devil Crush, that's fantastic. So yeah, got Alien Crush, so I'm well happy with that. So, you know, to be honest, for Alien Crush and Heavy Unit and a few of the other, it was well worth the £20. So I'm happy with that. I can't complain. So that's the PC Engine games I picked up. I also did as well is I did I did a job for a mate. Basically, he bought a Frame Meister, and he needed the SCART lead converted, rewired. But I already had the spare, so I gave him my spare one. And as a thank you, he dropped me a PC Engine magazine from Japan because he had a few of them. He got a PC Engine fan, so I don't know whether you can see this. I'll probably pick it up because it might be a bit easier. Yeah, PC Engine fan, as you see. Get my focus in. As you see over there. Really nice magazine, really appreciate it. Obviously it's in Japanese, you can't really read it, but you've got to love these Japanese mags. There's like, you know, sidearms or whatever, and it's showing you all about sidearms itself, and it's showing you about showing you how to do the levels and how the weapons work, and really cool like. So that's that. As you can see, it goes all the way through, showing you everything, how it all works, and as you keep going through. Like I said, it's got articles and lots of things. It's got PC Kid, and just really cool. Like, it's got some really nice artwork in there. Obviously, some weird, I don't know, some fucking weird game with it. But really nice magazine, lovely. You know? And if you click to the middle, beautiful artwork on that. I love that. It's Ordine on the PC Engine. Really nice condition, that artwork. And what's cool is in the middle of the magazine is a full pop-out guide to doing all the levels. And what's the best way to do the levels. So you can pop it all over. Really cool, because Ordine get pretty tricky later on in the game. So this tells you the best routes to go for the levels. So that is that's really cool. Like. And then sorry guys a minute. If I flick back through there now, and we go back, and then you know, there's lots of other PC Engine games. You got Far East of Eden. And then towards the back then, they got some PC-88 games. So they not only did PC Engine, you got some PC-88 Freak as well at the back. So I got some of the PC-88 games, and you can see where they're doing some tour in Japan, and that game, I know you can see over there. I got that, this is like a weird samurai game. And it's got like games coming soon, it's got Power Drift. Pretty cool like. Really nice quality magazine. It's pretty nice to have as a thank you like, I can't fault that. So that was another little pickup I had, well a freebie. And pretty much the last thing I had is, I didn't buy it, but it's I did an exchange with my mate for a few games, because I think he got fed up with it. It's my old PC Engine Core Graphics 2. I think my mate decided that he prefers NES and Super Famicom games, so I swapped him some of them games, and I ended up with my Core Graphics 2 back. So well happy with that. It's I already sort of RGB converted this thing. The RGB lead comes out the back, which non-reflection perhaps wasn't the best idea. Probably would have been better off putting it out for a year, but I'm not going to be using it for a CD-ROM unit anyway, so it doesn't matter. In that sort of respects, I suppose it makes more best come out the back. But yeah, so I got my Core Graphics back, and as you can see, if you handed it, they're pretty damn tiny. So yeah, so that's my pickups, guys, for July. Like I said, I didn't really plan to pick up a lot of things, but I ended up picking this. Oh, and one thing, a part of the deal to have it back as well, as I said, is Legend of Valkyrie on the PC Engine. I had that as well, so it's another game to add to the collection. It's a Namco arcade game that it's like an over-top hack and slash sort of platform sort of action game. Like it's pretty cool. Not as nice looking as the arcade, because the arcade's got some really nice zoom in effects, and but obviously the PC Engine can't do that. But yeah, pretty cool. So I had that in the deal as well. So happy with that. Anyway, guys, that's my pickups for July. If I pick any more up next month, which I don't really plan to, but I am going to keep an eye out for any PC Engine lots again. So if anything interesting comes up, I might pick that up and then I'll do a little video on it. So catch you next time, guys. Bye bye.